Good afternoon, mamas. Welcome to day 7 of the Summer to Remember. Today we are going deeper and grab a notepad, moms. You're going to want to take notes on this one. So before we get started, let me turn the music down just a bit. All right. So today's daily heartbeat is going to go a bit deeper. My name is Queenie Brown. I'm the creator of Coach Mom and the Summer to Remember. And it's a faith based self leadership adventure designed to help families create um, a meaningful, organized, memory filled summer rooted in confidence, character, leadership, responsibility, and connection. So, over the last several heartbeats, we've been building a system. We started with the brainstorm board. We asked our children what they wanted to learn, create, improve, build, try, and experience over this summer. And then we created the family game plan. We made room in each day so that there was space for learning, space for mission work, space for reading, movement, responsibilities, free time, quiet time, and rest, which we need all of those, right, Mom? So then we chose our top 3 summer missions. We said, I'm on a mission. And then we mapped those missions out. We asked, what do I need? Who can help me? What's my next step? Then we created the weekly success dashboard. We started tracking whether we're showing up. And today, we're moving into one of the most important parts of the summer to remember. Today, we're talking about the character climb because your missions help you create something great, but your character climb helps you become someone great. And that distinction matters. A child will learn a new language and still be disrespectful. A child can make jewelry and still be irresponsible. A child can create an app and still lack discipline. A child can finish a project and still not know how to serve, how to listen, how to follow through, or how to manage their attitude. So, yes, we want our children to accomplish things. But more than that, we want them to become people who can carry what they accomplish. That's character. Character is not just what you say. It's not just what you say you believe. It's what shows up when you're frustrated. Character is what shows up when mom asks you to do something you do not feel like doing. Character is what shows up when your sibling annoys you. Character is what shows up when no one's watching. Character is what shows up when you want the privilege, but you've not yet practiced the responsibility required to carry it. That's why we're building the character climb. Now, I want to tell you a story from my own house. This just happened the last 2 or 3 days. One of my daughters has been working through some attitude challenges. I'm sure you guys can relate, right? And I say that with love because we're all growing over here. But she had been picking up some habits from other kids and from things she was seeing online. She started talking over me when I was talking, pushing back when I gave her instructions, being downright disrespectful, arguing with me when she got corrected, and it had started to turn into a bit of a tug of war. Now, as a mom, I had to pause and pay attention because not every child is motivated the same way. Some children are motivated by the avoidance of consequences, but some children are more motivated by the acquisition of pleasure. They're motivated by what they want. And this child definitely wants what she wants. So we had gone to the library, we got a stack of books, and she was very excited about getting into those books and reading them. So when the attitude showed up again, I took the stack, not forever, but as a consequence. Instead, I gave her a book to read. The book was about attitude, mindset, and how negative thinking can shape the way we treat people and the way that people respond to us. At first, she was not happy. There was complaining, there was huffing and puffing and resistance, but I told her to read chapter 1. And then I told her to highlight what stood out. And then I told her to get a notebook and write down the lessons in first person statements. Not just the author said this, but my attitude affects my circumstances. My thinking matters. I need to pay attention to what I believe. I can choose a different response. Y'all feel me? And every time she continued pushing back, the assignment continued more reading, more highlighting, more writing. Now, here's the part that matters. At first, she thought she was being punished, but what was actually happening was character formation. She was practicing discipline. She was doing something she did not feel like doing. She was practicing perseverance. She kept going even though she wanted to stop. She was practicing responsibility. She was walking through the consequence and practicing reflection and thinking about her own attitude. She was practicing self control, even if it was imperfect. And then something happened. Later, when I was having a hard day, yesterday was a tough day for me, and I was out and about. When I came home and the kitchen was clean, the table was cleaned off, the dishes were handled, the clothes were folded, the trash was taken care of, the bathroom was clean. My scriptures, where I read the true scriptures, were open to the chapter that I'm supposed to read next. There was tissue next to my box in case I started leaking, next to my book. My notebook was ready. That was not just cleaning, that was character. That was initiative. That was service, compassion, deference, teamwork, all of it. That was a child noticing that mom needed support and doing something about it. And that's what I want to see. I want all of us to see. The kitchen was not the real victory. The folded clothes were not the real victory. The real victory was something was shifting inside of her. She was making character deposits. And that's what the character climb is about. A character deposit is a choice, it's an action or an attitude that shows you're becoming someone great. When you help without being asked, that's a deposit. When you do what you have to do before you do what you want to do, that's discipline. That's a deposit. When you tell the truth, even when it's hard, that's courage. That's a deposit. When you wait your turn and do not talk over someone else, that's active listening and respect. That's a deposit. Kind words instead of creating strife. That's peacekeeping. Deposit. When you notice mom is overwhelmed and you step in, that's compassion. And that too is a deposit. When you lower yourself enough to honor someone else's leadership, that's deference, a deposit. When you choose to keep going even though the work is hard, that's perseverance, another deposit. Now, I want you to imagine those deposits like they're stones. At first, the stone may feel heavy. It may feel uncomfortable. It may feel like work, even. It may feel like, why do I have to do this? But every time you carry that stone, something's being formed in you. And over time, those stones become jewels and they become the evidence of what you overcame. They become the evidence of who you became. And eventually, those jewels belong in a crown. And that's the picture I want our children to have. Not punishment, not shame, not you're bad, but you are becoming. And every choice is shaping you. Every deposit matters. Every act of character becomes part of your crown. And that's why the character climb is so important. We're not just asking our children to complete tasks, we're teaching them to ask, who am I becoming? Am I becoming disciplined? Am I becoming responsible? Am I becoming kind? Am I becoming helpful, respectful, courageous, compassionate? Am I becoming someone am I becoming someone who can be trusted with more? Because here's the truth. Many children want big privileges. They want phones, they want freedom, they want independence. They want to stay home alone. They want allowance. They want more choices. They want to be treated like they're older. They want greater privileges. But greater privileges require greater character. So the question becomes, can you carry it? Can you carry the phone without losing yourself in it? Can you carry independence without becoming irresponsible? Can you carry freedom without becoming disrespectful? Can you carry opportunity without losing discipline? And that's why we climb. Not because mom is trying to control everything, but because we are helping our children become the kind of people who can carry greater responsibility, greater freedom, and greater purpose. So today, I want you to introduce this idea to your children. You can say, your mission is to create something great. Your character climb helps you become someone great. And then you can ask them, what kind of person do you want to become this summer? And then name some of the traits. Someone who's responsible, someone who's disciplined, who practices teamwork, leadership, respect, kindness, courage, self control. service, perseverance, problem solving, encouragement, active listening, self advocacy, speaking up for others, peacekeeping. Can I say peacekeeping? Compassion, deference. And then ask, what would it look like to practice one of those today? Not all of them, just one. Maybe today your child practices discipline by doing mission work before entertainment. Maybe today they practice kindness by speaking gently to a sibling. Maybe today they practice initiative by seeing a need and filling a need. Or they practice active listening by waiting their turn instead of talking over someone. One deposit, one choice, one stone. That's how character is built. And Coach Moms, today, this is important for us too. We have to learn to notice the deposits, not just the failures, not just the back talk and the attitude or the mess. We need to be able to say, I saw that. I saw you help your sister. I saw you keep going. I saw you choose a better response. I saw you show discipline. I saw you make that deposit. Children need correction, yes, but they also need recognition. Positive reinforcement matters. And when a child sees that good choices are noticed, they begin looking for more opportunities to make those choices. And that's how we shift the atmosphere in the home. We're not just punishing bad behavior, we're building good character. That's the work. So today's Coach Mom Challenge is simple. Choose one character trait, talk about what it means, talk about what it looks like, and then look for one opportunity to practice it today. And then tonight ask, what character deposit did you make today? Let them name it. Let them see it and own it because the goal is not perfection. The goal is becoming. Your mission helps you create something great. Your character climb helps you become something great. And that's how we build the summer to remember. You got this, Mom. Hallelujah. See you tomorrow.